November 25th, 2021 หลวงพ่อโพสีสุริยะ Khemarato Satya Dharma Reflection Continue in the way without limits in purification. Purify without limits constantly. Don't be obsessed to clash within one's own thoughts, one's own vibhag of the mind. Don't be obsessed to clash within one's own feelings. Don't be obsessed to clash within oneself on and on. Go on without limits constantly. Automatically, it will be purification of emptiness. Don't be obsessed to clash within oneself and all things. Help through unwinding and liberation. How is it? How is it the purification of emptiness? Constantly go on without limits, immeasurably. Continue without limits, constantly. With this, it will purify the karmic habits of seer and knower. What is it within knowing and seeing, significance and meanings and involvement within seeing and knowing? That's the abode of the arising mind, the arising of cycle of becoming. My non-attachment is without limit instantly. There is no meaning as my or not my, attachment or non-attachment. My means no limits. There is no meaning as my or not my, attachment or non-attachment. The non-attachment is unbound instantly. It will purify limitations to certain extent, to be limited to just the body and the mind, form and formlessness. Looking, seeing and knowing, sense and sense objects, limitation with just all things and oneself. This limitation is just a circle, circling and limited with just crudeness and subtleties. This is only limitations with the circling mind. Give the unbound all the same with everything, so it will purify all and everything all the same. Continue in the way that is immeasurably all the same with everything. With this, it will purify both the internal and the external. It's called purification of emptiness. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, will purify the limitations to just titi, opinion, seeing, knowing, insights. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself. It will purify all the stagnation within titi, within opinions. The stagnation within seeing and knowing. Stagnation within states of mind and conditions. What is that? All the delusive attachment that is deep-rooted within all the states of mind. They are all overlaid by the delusive attachment and the delusion. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, will help through the unwinding and releasing for both internally and externally, simultaneously. That which has nothing to do with setting up or not, being obliged or not. With these, There will not be the heaviness that overlays on top of the body and the mind. There will not be the heaviness that overlays form and formlessness. That which has nothing to do with setting up or not. That which has nothing to do with being obliged or not. With these, there will not be the heaviness that overlays on top of knowing and seeing. All the projecting mind and mindset and obligations of the mind creates scapegoat of seeing and knowing right away. It will always be overlaid by the heaviness, by the heaviness at all times. Give that which has nothing to do with setting up or not to the utmost. This is all about the essence of renunciation, of giving away. That which has nothing to do with being obliged or not. This is all about giving away or renouncing from desire, delusion, and delusive attachment. That which has nothing to do with setting up or not, obliged or not, wear with it. So that samsara will not become karmic scapegoat, always being overlaid by the heaviness. So that all things, body and mind, form and formlessness, will not become karmic scapegoat because of the heaviness that overlays on top of it. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, to the utmost, well with it. With these, all the states of mind, any conditions of the mind, all the aggregate elements of body and mind will not be bound firmly. With these, it will not be tied up. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, wear with it and give it to the utmost constantly. Naturally, it will end all the clinging. It will purify all the clingings. With these, there will be no bondage and tie up within feelings, thoughts, recalls, and the mind, within opinions, seeing and knowing. It will not be tied up. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, wear with it. Naturally, all the clinging will be ended. Knowing will not be bound. Seeing also will not be bound. Seeing and knowing will not become slave of anything. Every element has no conditions within itself. Totally. That which has nothing to do with setting up or not to be given to the utmost. That which has nothing to do with being obliged or not. Don't be obsessed to press down on anything. Don't be obsessed to pressurize anything. Don't make samsara worse. Too much setting up, too much obligation. creates samsara as a karmic scapegoat. All of your mindset and obligation creates samsara as the karmic scapegoat.